You are welcome back, everyone, to another video tutorial. Today, we want to talk about the React lists. What are lists? Lists are used to display data in an ordered format. In React, lists can be created in a similar way as we create lists in JavaScript. So we say lists can be used to display data in ordered format. We use the map function for transversing the list. So map function is what we mostly use in JavaScript to traverse a list. So let's go create a list and see how that is being done in React. Okay, so I'm going to create a new component. Let me just call this list.js. So I generate my boilerplate. Okay, so inside this list we create an array of names. Let me just say cons students, an array of students. So I'll call this John, and I'll call this Mary, and I'll call this Peter, and I'll call this Michael, and I'll call this Joy. So I have an array of students. So if I want to traverse this so that it can be displayed on my browser, what do you think I will do? I'll use the map method, or the map function, sorry. Now the map function is what you've been taught in JavaScript already. So what I'll basically do, I'll come here and just come here and say h3 list using map method or function, using the map function. So that's also the title. So the first thing you do is because this is a JavaScript, the map is a JavaScript entity. So I'll come here and put my curly brace. Then I want to traverse this array called students using the map method. So this will be student.map. Now this map takes in a callback function, which is this. So I'm going to pass in an iteratable element here. You can call it any name. I'm going to call this student in singular. So this will return value. So yeah, I can easily come here and say put a div here. So yeah, I'll come here and I'll say students. This iteratable students. This students here. I'll come here and say students dot. But this is not object, so you just say students. So when you do this, if you save this, you should get all the list of students on the browser. Sorry, I've not imported this component into the app.js. So I'll take this list.js, I'll come here and put list, a component. So I've imported the component, import list from component list. So I save this. So now you should see the students displayed on the browser. If you check the browser, so you can see Mary, John, Mary, Peter, Michael, Joy. So let me make it to be bold so you can see that better. So here I can easily come here and make this to be H1 so that you can see that clearly. Then I'll put the students inside the H1. So you save this, then you can see that John, Mary, Peter, Michael, and Joy as we displayed on the browser using the map function. So that is one way. That is how you display lists in React. So you can also do it this way. If I don't want to do it this way, I can. Okay, let me just keep it simple for now. So let me create an array of objects now. So let me do for an array of objects. So I'll come here and say cons. So let me take away this students let me take them out. So I'll put on that student. I say cons students equal to an array of objects. Take note, you can only map through an array. You can't map through any other data type. You only map through an array, please. That's why I'm using an array. So inside this array, here comes an object. So I'll give this an ID, and you should always give a unique ID. Yeah, because if you don't do that, you get an error. So the unique ID is what it's going to use to represent each child. So yeah, I'll come here and say name as John, then matric number, if I like, matric number, just put a number ABC11, or ABC01. So I put a comma here, so I duplicate these objects here inside the array. Let's do it for just 3 students. So this one will be ID2. So this, I'll call this Mary. Then this will be ABC02. Then this will be ID3. I'll call this name Ruth. And this will be 003. So what I've done is to create an array of objects, and the name of this array is students also. So if I want to map through, do you think I will map through this way? If I do it this way, I'll get an error. Yes, I'll get an error, because we are dealing with an array of objects, not just a single or a simple array. So you know how you can reference an object. You reference an object with a dot notation in JavaScript, or maybe say a square bracket notation. So to do this now, how we're going to do something like this. I'll come here, this student, if I want to display the name, I'll say student.name, because that's an object. So this will display all the 3 students' name on. You can see that John, Mary, and Ruth. So if I want to display their matric number, so what I'll do, I'll come here and just put H3, and I'll say student dot matric. So this student.matric will enable me to see each of their matric number: ABC01, ABC02, ABC03. You see the way we display a list in React. So if you go to the console, you are going to get a little bit of a warning error on the console, telling you that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Each child, you can see the warning, each child in a list should have a unique key props. So to avoid that warning, you set a key property here. I'll say key equal to students. You reference the ID, which is a unique keyword ID. So this ID, remember we have a unique ID 1, 2, and 3. So that is what I'm referencing, key students.id. So I'll save that. I'll go to the browser. If I refresh this now, you won't see that error again. The error is gone. You can see that the warning error is gone. So everything is working perfectly now. So I hope you understand the concept of displaying a list, rendering a list in React. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next class.